Reverse divergence CCI pattern is a trend continuation pattern. We spot it by looking for two inside bumps moving closer to the zero line. By the word bumps we mean the CCI movements up and down. Some call these peaks and valleys. We say inside bumps to represent the bumps that are within the histogram, or in other words bumps that are closer to the zero line. We never use outside bumps to spot rev diver patterns. The following two rules are all you need to spot the rev diver pattern. Rev diver long, CCI above zero line for 6 or more bars, 2 lower inside bumps. Rev diver short, CCI above below line for 6 or more bars, 2 higher inside bumps. The reverse divergence trade is a trend trade. New students of Woody's CCI should be taking this type of trade. You can combine the rev diver trade with a zero line reject, ZLR, trade, or the trend line break, TLB, trade to add strength to the signal for a greater probability of success. You must always have a ZLR pattern along with the rev diver pattern. In fact, you usually have 2 ZLR patterns that make up a rev diver, since both inside bumps usually occur within the +/-100 CCI area. The inside bumps actually represents the CCI ZLR pattern. Look at charts closely and you will see both of them on each chart. In the 3 charts, the yellow lines show the CCI pattern. The 2 short yellow lines show the reverse divergence trade pattern. The longer yellow line shows the trend line break pattern that usually accompanies this trade. The single white lines show where the entry would be and the double white lines show where the exit would be. Each chart shows a short yellow line where each inside bump can be seen within the pattern. Notice that the inside bumps are closer to the zero line as they move across the chart. 2 of the inside bumps shown actually go over the zero line. In chart 2 you can see one inside bump goes over the zero line a little bit. In chart 3 one inside bump goes down under the zero line a great deal. Technically this turned into an outside bump since it went down below the zero line. Don't let this confuse you. It is still a rev diver pattern, but you may want to avoid ones that do this. You could instead take this as a ZLR trade on the first bar that flipped up, since it only went down to -100. Again, all of these patterns melt together in some fashion all the time. Don't worry about it. You will be fine. Just keep on reading. However, as you know by now, we look for the more perfect CCI patterns to trade, and the rev diver in chart 3 might not be a trade to take, since it does go over the zero line quite a bit and for 3+ bars as well. It is interesting enough to note that the trade was really strong and went quite far upward anyways. In fact, you could just ignore the rev diver pattern on chart 3 and take it as a simple TLB trade. I hope you are seeing by now that all of Woody's CCI patterns mix together or come one right after the next. Notice that there is a zero line reject, ZLR, pattern just before each of these rev diver entries on all 3 charts. This is not a coincidence. Lots of CCI patterns run together. Some will add to the potential for success and some will signal you to exit immediately because they are setting up a CCI trade signal against your current position. Don't let this confuse it. It's normal to see multiple Woody's CCI patterns. combined together. All three charts are showing the trend line break, TLB, pattern drawn as well. Most people use a rev diver pattern along with the TLB pattern as a signal for more confirmation to enter the trade. You can clearly see this in charts 2 and 3 where the entry is shown after the TLB is broken. However, you could enter the trade right after the second ZLRCCI turn up/down that forms the complete rev diver pattern. This entry by itself would be a rev diver trade with the added confirmation of a TLB. The first chart shows two exits using the double white lines. Again, the first contract or set of contracts would be exited at the first set of double lines. The remainder of the position would be set to B/E+1 and you would wait for the next exit signal. Notice that the third chart shows a lower inside bump that actually goes onto the other side of the zero line. This is a nuance and does happen. That is fine. Important to point out is that this is actually a valid zero line. Reject long signal since it doesn't go past the CCI-100 area. This one goes a bit further, so it could be taken with caution. The exit signals are the same as in any other trade. Go review the section on how to enter and exit trades. It is very important to remember that when you take one of these trades, it does not mean you are supposed to stay in it forever. Always follow what is CCI exit signals.